Hello, I'm Eric Ludwig. I'm a certified financial planner and the CEO of Stockbridge Private Wealth Management. Today is November 6, 2018, also known as the midterm election day. From the last video that I sent out, I got an email back from Jane in Sheboygan, and she was asking about, is there any relationship between midterm elections and markets? To be honest, I thought the answer was no. So I went to do a study to sort of test this, and it's completely different than what I thought. So I thought I'd share the results because it's very interesting to me anyways. So going back to 1946, so the end of World War II, till now, there's been 18 midterm elections. Today will be the 19th, and we've had pretty much every combination of president and Congress that you can think of. So Democratic president, Republican Congress, and vice versa. We've had them change midterm versus stay the same. So you'll see why that ends up being important afterwards. Let me also say this is not a video about politics. It's a video about markets. You know, I'm not here to persuade you to vote one way or another. Just get out and vote. And as far as what the results are, actually, as far as what happens in the markets, it seems not to matter. So that's sort of the purpose of this video. So what has happened on average? Well, in the short term, the first thing I did is I looked at when the stock market made whatever its low point was in October, leading up to the midterm election, to the end of the year. So just a couple months. On average, stocks have gone up 10%, just in that 2 to 3 month time frame. So that was pretty interesting. Then the next question I asked was, how many times have they gone up? So out of those 18 midterm elections, how many of those 18 has the market just gone up in the remaining couple months? And it's 18. It's 18 for 18. So we're batting 100 there. That's pretty interesting. Will this time be the same? I don't know. But anyways, pretty strong statistics there. What about in a little bit longer term? So I looked at after the midterm elections, what happens over the next 12 months. And again, on average, stocks have risen 17% over the next 12 months after the midterm elections. And again, I asked the question, how many just times have they gone up from midterm elections to 12 months later? And again, it's 18 for 18 every single time. What's really crazy is then I looked at, if you measure from the low made during the midterm year, and then look 12 months later. So like in this year, it would be the low made at the beginning of February, and then go out 12 months later, markets go up on average 32%. So again, that's pretty amazing, considering the average year is probably 8%, right? And then the other way that I sliced this pie up was to look at and I think you maybe have already heard this or seen this, but how does the market perform in different years of a president's term? The first and second year, markets are up about 5%. The third year of a president's term, markets are up about 14%. And that kind of coincides with this study, because the third year would be that midterm election year. So again, maybe that's a good sign for what 2019 has to bring. In the fourth year, the market goes up an average of 7%. So how about this? The other thing that I looked at was, how do stocks perform on average in the midterm election year, up until midterm elections. So from January to October, in a midterm election year, markets are actually down 1% on average, which again is really interesting, because that's exactly what's happened this year. And that's what's happened the other 18 midterm election years on average. And then the other thing that was kind of in contrast to that is in non-midterm election years, from January to October, the market actually goes up 7%. So there definitely seems like there's something to that. And why would that be the case? Probably, there's uncertainty going into the elections, regardless of who ends up taking over power, so to speak. It just seems like once that certainty has cemented itself again, then investors are willing to put money back into play. That's my thought anyways. So on that note, I'm looking forward to the rest of November, the rest of the year, and the 12 months ahead. If you have any questions or comments, again, feel free to send them in to ericludwig@stockbridgewealth.com. Thanks a lot and hope you have a great day.